Do you have dull, dingy, shitty spark plug wires that look like this?
Nobody wants to mess with spark plug wires that don't look cool.
Do you want cool race car inspired spark plug wires like these? Then stick around because I'm going to show you how. What's going on, guys? I just want to make a quick video for you here. You can see I'm growing a little bit of a beard. Because I know I've been putting up a video pretty much like every other week, like every 2 weeks I've been putting up a video, and it might be a little bit longer this time, so I just want to give you a quick update, let you know what's going on, and I'll give you a little bit of quick content too. So basically what's up is I've been working on the Firebird like nonstop. Between that and work, I haven't really been doing anything with the Raptor. You saw in the last video I got it running. Super happy about that. That was like my goal, to get it running, and I am going to finish that up, and I'm going to make riding videos and stuff, and I'm going to continue to make videos on that, no problem. But until I get the Firebird out of the garage, I really have to focus on that because it has to get out of the garage. It's just way too much stuff in here. You can see it behind me. It's up on jack stands. It can't move, and my pop needs to get some tools and stuff out of here. We have a table saw in the back corner over here underneath that tarp and all that stuff, and he needs that because he's working on the deck. So it's really a priority to get this thing done. It's just been, even though I'm not doing like a crazy amount of work on it, you know, it was originally supposed to be replacing the OptiSpark. I found a ton of stuff in this thing that actually needed to be replaced, and I don't want to put the stuff back in because I had to disassemble the whole front part of the engine. I don't want to put anything back in until I fix all the little stuff. So it's just kind of like one of those projects that slowly turned into a bigger project, and I've been fixing a lot of little stuff, which is cool. I'm happy with that. I just don't have the space to be letting the car sit here and not be able to move. It's on jack stands. So I have to finish that. I'm trying to get it done this weekend. And then I'm going to start working on another video for the Raptor shortly after that. So you can see the Raptor's just kind of sitting here waiting for plastics and fine tuning. If you haven't seen the video of me getting this thing run. Woohoo! Yeah, baby! You can check it out. And now the starter's giving me some issues. It'll bump start. But I don't know if it's the two-way bearing is real snug or something and not letting the starter turn over. I don't know. Or could be something with the battery or the relay. I didn't even look into it yet. But it does run. I fixed it. I fixed whatever was preventing it from running. 90% sure it was the stator. Either that or it could have been the crankshaft position sensor, even though the old one did test out as good. Still, there could have been something wrong with it. But I'm pretty sure it was the stator. And here's what the Firebird is looking like right now. Kind of got the alternator just hanging off only because this big block of a plate that was on the front of the engine was blocking my hand to get in here to get the spark plugs out. So I just pulled that off. But I have the radiator off and everything. It's really not too much work. It's just going to be getting everything back together. And I still actually have to replace the OptiSpark. What wound up happening is I found some wires that were ripped. And here are the new wires. 2 plug wires were actually ripped. And no good. So at best, this thing was running on 6 cylinders. And one of the other plugs was so loose you could actually wiggle it. So that cylinder was probably messed up too. So I don't know if this thing was running on 5 or 6 cylinders. Really no good at all. So thank God that I bought these new plugs and everything. I just got done putting the new wire, or got the new wires. And I just got done putting in the plugs. The plugs were really difficult to get to. If you guys ever did an LT1, you know it's a pain in the ass. Really tough to get to, especially on this other side. It was the third one back. It was almost impossible to get to. It took like 8 hours, believe it or not, which is ridiculous. I called up a shop and they wanted $650 in labor just to do spark plugs. So it's just been stuff like that. And like if you look in here, like this piece right here, stuff just like floating around, little things like that I don't like. I want to clean up, make it functional and work right. Painted this cross member bar, used to be red. I painted it silver with green hinges, or not hinges, but just the end plates are green. I think that'll look kind of cool. Plus they'll match these zip ties, these wire looms that I made. And I'm going to show you guys how I made them. That's going to be my little thing that I give you guys today. Pretty cool. I think these wires look awesome. It's like Christmas colors, you know? Red and green. That wasn't really my intention. I actually wanted blue wires, or green would have been freaking badass. but you guys know I love blue and green. But the red ones, I guess because so many people want red, these are mass produced more so than the blue and the green, and these were the cheapest ones. For the same exact wires, just different color, it was more money. So I went with the red because this is a budget project, and I think it kind of pops with the lime green zip ties. So it's super easy. You can see it's one zip tie wrapped all the way around. Doesn't matter how many wires you have, as long as your zip tie is long enough to go around all your wires. And then these are just zip ties in the middle. Real easy to do. You snug them up, not too tight, but enough that they're not going to move. And then I lined up where all my plugs are supposed to go. And these should clip on and be pretty rigid. And the other thing that's cool about these wires is they're made of silicone, high temperature silicone. So I don't have to put on these heat shields. I mean, I could put them on just for extra precaution, but these are supposed to be similar to MSD wires. And anybody that knows anything about the MSD wires, they can usually withstand higher temperatures than factory plugs. And they're supposed to be okay without the heat shields. So I'm going to throw them on there, see what happens. Got a little bit of dielectric grease that I'm going to throw in all of my connections. Should be pretty badass. I'll get a quick clip of what it looks like once it's on there as well. And I'll show you real quick on, I have these two extra wires here. I'll just zip these together and I'll show you exactly how you make them. Alright guys, so I got these two red wires here. The one I'm actually going to be using to connect the OptiSpark. But I also got two of the older wires just so that I can do 4 instead of 2 to show you more of what it's like. And if you look at this one here, this is one of the old wires. I did not do this. This was completely ripped and it was dangling. It wasn't hanging off or anything. It almost looks like it was cut, but it was just dangling. That's one of the bad plugs. And I'm going to use this pink zip tie here because I'm probably never going to use pink intentionally. So, because I'm going to be clipping these, so they're going to go to waste. And then these are just old clear zip ties I had laying around too. So, real simple here. Just slide this around all the wires you have. Like I said, it doesn't have to be 4 wires. It can be any size. And then I usually pull it, so there's a little bit of slack. Then you take your other wires, and you're going to go in between. Make sure you go around both sides of that pink zip tie. And we're going to pull that one tight. Not tight, just get it around there. We'll tighten them up later. And you want to make them face all the same direction. Even though, you're probably you want to do it so that when the wires are on, the head of the zip tie is facing, inward away from anything that you're going to see so that it looks cleaner on the other side. Still want them all to face the same way. We'll get this last one here. So there's that. And then you can tighten up the pink one a little bit, your bigger one. Not too tight, you don't want to go crazy, but you want it to be somewhat rigid. One more click. So that's that. And then we want to take these and tighten these down. Now if you're having trouble tightening these down, I'll show you a little trick I use to tighten down zip ties. Just going to take a flathead screwdriver, push it up against the head of the zip tie, and then you take a pair of pliers and you pull. Now I'm not really pulling that hard. These don't need to be that tight, but I do like them to be somewhat snug. So there you have it. And you can adjust this too. If you roll this, you can even everything out. The gap looks a little weird just because these wires are thinner. And then we'll just snip these. And there's your free custom wire loom. Now these are kind of like weird colors, but you get the idea, and it's nice and rigid. You see, you can stand it up. If I just spin with this one wire, you can see the whole thing moves. So it makes it really nice for mounting your wires if you're going to run them along your valve covers or something. And the other thing is, a standard zip tie has a melting point of about 495 degrees Fahrenheit. So you don't really have to worry about these things melting. I mean, if you have them touching the header or something or real close to the exhaust, they will melt. But for spark plugs, you really shouldn't have a problem. So that's that, guys. Now, just because this is for cars, it doesn't have to be for plug wires just for cars. It can also just be for regular wires on an ATV, or you could use it on a quad that has more than one cylinder, like a Banshee. Okay, guys, so that's going to be it for today. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to get a message out there to you guys because I know it's going to be probably another week or so until I get another video up on the Raptor and stuff like that. I'm really, really looking forward to riding that thing, though. It's riding season now, guys. And I'm going to be making a trip up to Hazleton as soon as I get this thing ready. I cannot wait to rip on this thing. I seriously cannot. I love Raptor 660s, especially for hills and stuff and trails. It's just, I think it's the best trail quad. I really do. I love 400EXs too for the trails. But, you know, I've taken 450s on the trails, and I've taken Raptors, 400EXs, 300EX, pretty much Mojave. I've taken a lot of like different sized and types of quads out there, you know, 4x4s, utility quads and stuff. I love, the Raptor is hands down my favorite trail quad. So that stuff is going to be coming in the future. Hang tight, guys. Stick with me. All right, guys. So here is a quick shot of what these wires are going to look like all hooked up. Obviously, it's not all in place. I kind of just threw them on there to show you. This portion of the wires is all set. They're all anchored. I made sure that they're as far away from the pipes as I can get them. And then up here, I'm not sure exactly how I'll be routing around this stuff. Like over here, those wires will have to be anchored so that they're not touching the pulley or anything. And none of this stuff is even really clipped on. I just kind of have them in place. Unfortunately, you know, they're cool looking wires, but you can't really see them. But right now they look cool without the water pump over it and everything. But yeah, I think it looks cool. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.